Happy New Year, friends. It's Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead, and I'm here with
me,
Adam, my husband. And today we thought we'd sit down, since it's New Year's, and kind of recap 2020 and talk about lessons we've learned this past year, some of our successes and failures here on the homestead, and some plans we have for 2021. So if that's something that interests you, why don't you stick around and hang out with us for a little bit. 2020 has definitely been an intense year in a lot of ways for many people. For us personally, I feel like it was kind of validation or kind of encouragement for the lifestyle that we've chosen and some of the choices that we've made. I feel like 2020 might have been a much harder year for us had we not made some of the choices we've made around here, like homeschooling our children, building up a homestead, those kinds of things. Even the highlight of our year, having Benjamin, having our baby, that could have been a really stressful situation for us had we not already been planning a home birth. And, you know, we were kind of having Benjamin at the height of COVID uncertainty and everything going on in the hospital system that, you know, that ended up being a very non-stressful thing for us too. So I'm grateful for this lifestyle, for our ability to homeschool our children, to be able to grow our own food. We never had to worry about, you know, food uncertainty and things like that. What do you think?
I don't think it impacted us as much as it would have where we lived before in a condo. We have all this land out here and freedom, and the kids couldn't go anywhere, but they had a bunch of freedom here. If we were stuck in a condo, we'd have to find a vacant park to go play in,
Yeah.
instead of having their park in the backyard.
Yeah, it's been nice. I feel like the one area of our lives where maybe this year was hardest was just knowing that our income, we were reliant on others for income, and the uncertainty of that and potential job loss and all of those kinds of things. That was maybe the hardest thing this year. And so looking forward to 2021, we were kind of talking yesterday about this, that now more than ever we feel led to kind of diversify income streams so that in the future that wouldn't be a stressor for us.
Less of.
That's our dishwasher making noise.
It's working.
Yeah, less of a stressor. So, you know, lots of people talk about 2020 with this dread, like it was the worst year ever. And really for us, the hardest part I feel like was our kids not having a lot of interaction with their normal homeschool groups and friends, which they normally a couple times a month would do that, and we weren't able to do that this year. And then getting together with the grandparents and other family, I think that was tough on us. But otherwise, it's been a good year. I mean, we had a baby.
Yeah.
It's always a healthy baby, a wonderful birth. I mean, I can't complain about 2020.
And we got a lot of projects done around the house. Like we talked in that other video. We got a lot of stuff. Done. You know, work and society's not as fun wearing masks around, but here in our Eden, we made things a lot more. There's a lot more accomplishments done.
Yeah, I'm grateful for our health, because I know a lot of people have had a rough year due to health issues, and we've been very blessed, and so that's good. But having Adam home for a large portion of the year was a blessing in many ways too, because we accomplished quite a few homestead projects that we'd been kind of putting off for years, or we didn't know how we would accomplish them with him only being home during a limited amount of time on the weekends. And so maybe we could talk about that. So this year on the homestead, we added bees, and we added a beef cow, a heifer, and what else? What are some other new things that we did?
Well, we built the shelter.
Yeah.
We added another coop.
Another chicken coop.
And fencing for it, to keep them from flying out, 6-foot fencing. We put a wood burner in the garage.
Yeah, we did. So as far as food production goes, I feel like the bees, so far, it's been a fun process. It's been a learning process. I was very intimidated, and it took me probably 2 or 3 years, I had the equipment sitting here in the garage, and I just didn't like pull the plug on it and start the process of getting the bees. But you encouraged me to take a class in January, I believe.
Yes.
A beekeeping class with a local group. And I highly encourage anybody who is thinking about getting bees. It was so great. That class taught me everything I needed to know to kind of get over my fears and get me started. And then it put me in touch with local people who are also beekeepers. And you need that support. You need to have mentors and connections in your local community.
Yeah, you can only look up so many things online and watch videos. I mean, you mentioned a few things to me. I'm like, I never heard that. My grandfather kept bees.
Right.
And I never heard that before. So it possibly could have saved our bees this year from the stuff that you learned from that class. So I think it was very helpful.
Yeah. So that was a huge success. We got 2 nucs and installed them. And as of now, which when this video is shown, it'll be January 1st, the bees have survived a couple cold snaps. We had a little bit of a scary situation last week. I thought that the bees had died, that both hives had died. I saw very little activity and lots of dead bees, but we've since, now that it's warmed up, seen some signs of life, and we're hopeful. And so hopefully they'll make it through the winter. But if not, we'll just try again next year and learn from our mistakes and do it again. Yep. So that's been a success so far.
Yes.
Whether or not they make it, it's still a learning process, and I feel like we learned from it. As far as the beef cow, which is the new thing, or the beef heifer on the property, I mean, that's going well. I had fears about the added work for the boys, but they're stepping up. And
Yep. They got it down pretty well now. I still go out there about once a week to get on them for cleaning the water bowls out. Or, hey, did you put hay out there? But just little reminders, they're doing really well.
Right.
I mean, they really are doing everything. I just, as she's getting bigger, I just say, just don't turn your back and wear your steel toes out there. And that's about it now, because they're starting to run the show.
And a lot of people ask why we only got 1, but we kind of wanted to see if it was a good fit for our family and how it's going, because you have plans. When are we adding another?
March.
In March, we're going to add a steer and
or another beef heifer, depends on what they have.
Yeah. And so that's kind of our goal for 2021, is we'd like to maybe every 6 months or so add another one, so that we kind of have a continuous supply of beef. Because as these kids get older, 1 whole beef it's not going to last very long.
They eat as much as I do.
They do.
More.
It's
they eat
becoming
so much.
insane, and half of them are still not even school age. So it's so much food.
They do eat.
So yeah, so that's kind of the plan going forward, is to every 6 months add another one, so that we've always got some. So that's been good. Adding the other coop for the chickens kind of came about because this year's garden was not a success. It was kind of a disaster because I had a baby right in the middle of my heavy gardening season. And so the weeds took over, the pests took over. Thankfully, the Lord still provided, and we were able to can and preserve a lot of stuff and have a lot for fresh eating. He always provides, and we're forever grateful for that. But I realized that I'm still in a season of heavy child care and baby care and all of that. The amount of garden space that I had this year, it just isn't sustainable for me in this season of my life. And so as much as I want to have these large gardens, it just wasn't happening. So until I'm done with pregnancy and babies, we decided to turn one of our garden spaces into another chicken run, and we put in another chicken coop. And so I just feel like in this season of our lives, it's easier to grow protein, to grow eggs and meat than it is to grow fruits and vegetables. And thankfully, there's a great community of other farmers who can fill in the gaps where I can't grow things, and we'll just preserve what they're able to sell us. And we still have a rather large garden space, but in 2021, I'm just kind of going to focus on the things I really need to get into jars, like tomatoes and green beans and okra for him. And I'm going to grow less varieties of things, but more of our staple foods. And I think that's a good plan for us. It's sustainable for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could rely on the kids. We could do large gardens, and I could make my kids go out and weed every day for me. But I don't necessarily want that for them, because they already do so much around here to help us out that dishwasher again.
Yep, it's working.
So something we rarely talk about on our homestead are our dogs. We have 2 livestock guardians. They are Baz Shepherds, which are, I guess if you want to explain.
Yeah, they're a Turkish Baz Shepherd is what their technical name is. They are a livestock guardian, a very powerful livestock guardian. Our female is 125 pounds, and our male is almost 2 years old. He is 168, I think it was last time we checked. He's a big boy, but he's not done growing because he'll be 2 at February. So I got x-rays done on Leela, our female, and her hips are good, and all that kind of thing. And our male, I haven't got x-rays yet because his bones hasn't closed yet. But we're hoping this spring that she takes, I would like to get, I would love to have a litter from her. I think she's a wonderful dog. And he's very kind. He lets all the kids climb all over him. So I think they're a good pair. She's really athletic and lean, and he is just a big bruiser. So I think it's a good match. She came from a reputable breeder down in Texas, and he came from a Aiken, shipped a pregnant female over to that same breeder down in Texas. So actually our male is actually from Turkey. But we're hoping this spring that she takes, and because he'll be old enough, and then we'll see what happens.
That's a huge goal of ours. We just love the breed. They're kind of cousins of Anatolian Shepherds.
Just bigger.
Just a lot bigger. And like you mentioned, our male is huge. He's a giant, but he's so gentle and so good with the kids. But if a stranger shows up on our property, this dog, he is not having it. And he can look pretty fierce and scary. So,
yeah.
But they do a great job of keeping. We have a very low predator load here on our property, and I think it's due to these 2 dogs. They do a really good job. So it's been a goal of ours to just breed a litter, see if we enjoy that process, and who knows what that could turn into for us. But
right. Well, and also to have another dog without buying one. I mean, that's what you do. So to keep, because I love the breed. I've had a lot of different dogs. They just love to work.
Yeah.
So
that's a big goal for 2021. We're hoping to get our first litter from them and just kind of see how it goes. Just like we were talking about with the cow, if we enjoy the process and the work seems to be something that we can manage, then maybe it would be something we continue to do in the future. But you'll never know unless you try it.
Yes, in small steps.
Yes. I did a video earlier in the year. We were talking about, we did an experiment this year. We had saved 3 Freedom Ranger roosters from 2019. They are meat chickens. Freedom Rangers are a meat bird, and they're huge. And normally you process them when they're about 12 weeks old, but I had this idea to do an experiment. I'm going to save these roosters and breed them with my egg-laying hens and see what we get. And I knew that the Freedom Rangers are kind of a crossbreed, so they're not going to breed true. You're going to get different combinations whenever you do it. But I thought maybe they'd be slightly larger and meatier than just a regular egg-laying hen breed. And so this year we didn't buy any meat birds. We didn't buy any of the normal Cornish cross or any Freedom Rangers. And we decided to incubate for the very first time and hatch all of our own ducks and chickens. It was really fun for the kids. I'm going to mark that as a success. They learned so much by watching all of these little chicks be born in the house. But our experiment in breeding a meaty bird, I don't know, I'm going to call that a failure. They kind of just turned out like normal hens. Yeah.
Some of them are a little thicker.
Yeah.
You can see some of them are a little thicker. Some of the roosters look a little thicker too. We'll see how well they do with the eggs.
Yeah, that's going to be the other part. Are they going to be fertile? Are they going to be able to reproduce?
Yeah. And are they going to be able to produce a lot of eggs like your egg layers?
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Adam built this zip tie dome. I'll link below in the description where he got the kit for it. But this was really neat. It was kind of our chicken tractor that we used to raise our excess roosters and some of the meat birds. And that was really wonderful. And I think we enjoyed that so much that once again, next year I'm not going to purchase meat birds. We'll probably do the same thing. Just incubate. We'll replace our egg-laying hens with any of the hens that we hatch, and then we'll butcher all the roosters for meat. And
yeah, that zip tie dome was easy to build, and then we just put a tarp over the one side so you can get a little bit of shade and maybe some rain or something like that, and then you can just drag it. I could drag it by myself. My two boys would drag it.
I was pregnant and I could drag it myself.
Yeah, it wasn't very hard to drag, and then it's got a little door, and you just put wrapped chicken wire around it, and it was really nice.
We were concerned because we do get a lot of wind in late spring and early summer, and it was kind of so light that we could drag it that I was worried that we might have issues with it flipping over or something, and that was never an issue. It's definitely heavy enough.
Yeah, you'd have to have inline winds of 70 miles an hour to move it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Now the one downside I think of the zip tie dome is that if you had a high predator load on your property, it would be very easy to get under it. So that's when we were thankful to have our livestock guardians, because they're not. I mean, they patrol at night and they're not letting something get under that.
Yep.
But otherwise, that was a success. I would even consider buying another one to turn into a greenhouse or to have a second chicken tractor at some point in the future, because that worked really well.
Yeah.
You want to put together another one?
Don't bother me.
Okay, good. Maybe. So, food growth and homestead stuff aside, what do you feel like are some of your goals just in general for 2021?
And maybe we do a couple of indoor projects. Every project we've done has been outside. Almost every project has been outside, so maybe we can do a couple of inside projects to help you out with storage in the kitchen.
That's a big goal for me. I would like to, this behind us, this kind of makeshift shelving that I've been using to get by, I guess, but we need more storage in this kitchen with the amount of time I spend in here. So we'd like to build like floor to ceiling, kind of built-in storage space. So that would be really nice. Yeah, we moved here 5 years ago in November, and every project other than like necessary things like new pipes that we needed to put in or fixing some wiring or whatever, but every other big project we've done has been outdoors. Just because the whole goal has been to get things set up to kind of grow food. But now we're at a place where we're kind of happy with what's going on outside, and we don't really want to add more work at this point. But the inside of the house needs a little TLC and some attention to make it. I mean, I'm not worried about making it look nice. I don't want to like renovate things just to make them look a certain way. I'm more about function. Like, we need to be functional using the space. Because when you have 7 kids in a small house, you need to have good storage and organization, and we just haven't invested time in that. So that's a huge goal for me.
Yeah. We'll add a few things on outside. Another some more beef and hopefully some puppies, and we'll add some more chickens and that kind of stuff. But nothing big. We're not putting up any more fences. We're not. We're not really doing any big money makers. I mean, it'd be nice to have the outdoor shower.
Yeah, it would.
We had a plan to have an outdoor shower behind our garage.
It was supposed to happen the beginning of this year, actually.
Yes, it was supposed to be. The guy said he could probably come out in May to do it. And he was going to give me a quote in March, end of March, early April. And then COVID happened and a lot of different things. And he never got back with us.
No, I mean, it all happens for a reason, because now that I think about it, there's probably other more pressing projects that I would choose before I would do that. We have 1 full bath in our house and then 1 half bath. So it's nice to have 2 toilets with this many people, but only having 1 shower can be a struggle. And then just for practical reasons, when you've got little dirty farm kids running around outside all summer, having an outdoor shower would just keep the mess out there, and then they're not trudging upstairs to the shower with mud all over their feet and stuff.
Right.
So it would be nice, but it's not a necessity, and whatever.
Yep.
So a big one that lots of people want to ask about next year for me, if we follow our pattern, people want to know, so do you think you'll be pregnant again in 2021 and have another baby? What do you think about that?
I don't know. Could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
I turned 40 in 2 weeks.
I turned 32 in last year.
It's 44. But I turned 40 in 2 weeks, and so we're just going to kind of have to see what the Lord has in store for me in my 40s. You know, up to now, it seems like we've had a baby about every 2 years, and if that continued, we'd be excited about that, I guess. And if it didn't, and Benjamin's our last baby, I mean, he's a wonderful baby, and we enjoy him, and I'm fine with that too.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
so, I better sum this up, or I'll probably keep talking all day, and kids are starting to make a lot of noise, so we better get
It's time.
It's time. But in conclusion, we are very grateful for this year. I feel like 2020, in spite of everything else that was going on, it's been a good year. The Lord provides. The Lord is good. He's blessed us with another baby and health, and so we're very grateful. And
We rejoice in His will.
we do. And Lord willing, 2021 should be another wonderful year.
Mm-hmm.
And we look forward to what it will bring for us. And we hope that you guys will follow along with us on that journey here in the coming year. And to you and your family, we pray a blessing over you and pray that this coming year will be wonderful for you too. And with that, we're going to sign off and go take care of these loud kids.
Yes. Back to work.
So, Happy New Year, friends.
Okay,
Bye.
take care. What unique New York, unique. Unique New York, unique. All right.
All right. Can you be serious for a minute?
1 minute.
Okay. So, in conclusion, I better wrap.
You should never start it. This is what you should never start it. You start laughing. It's not going to stop.
Hold on.
That won't work. Oh no.
I can't do it. I can't. Hold on. Okay, so now I'm back to serious.
All right, let's go.
In conclusion.
I'm fine.